Hey guys, me again with another Hellraiser review. Oh, it feels like so many have gone by now. This is the sixth one, I think. Yep, Hellraiser, Hellseeker. That's the sixth one. I've got three more to go. Three more to go. I'm looking forward to finishing the collection off and moving on to maybe the Halloween set when it turns up tomorrow. So anyway, Hellraiser, Hellseeker. And it stars, let me get it up on the big screen because this is very small, and Echo Bridge are not good at giving you basically details on their things. So it stars Dean Winters, Ashley Lawrence reprising her role as Kirsty Cotton, Doug Bradley as Pinhead and the Merchant, Rachel Hayward, Sarah Jane Redmond, Jodie Thompson, and it's directed by Rick Bota, who directed Hellworld and Deader as well. So this was the first of the three Hellraisers that he directed. So this one, I think this one was a straight to video, if I'm correct. But anyway, it don't matter. So this came out in 2002, and let me get back. There we go. And I have to admit, I did like it because it reminded me a lot of Inferno, but it's very different as well at the same time. Like for instance, this film starts off with Trevor and Kirsty in the car together, and they end up crashing into the water. They go to avoid the truck because they're kissing and all that, and it goes straight into the water, and boom, he wakes up. And these people are doing like this operation. Is it? They cut his skull open, and they go, "Oh, you will be a lot of discomfort." Blah blah blah. We've got to waken up the mind or something like that. Obviously, he gets all panicky, and then you see a woman coming in. I guess was the doctor at the time, saying, "Hello, Trevor, are you okay? Sorry I left you." And he talks to her, and then he gets this thing again, and through the whole movie, he gets all these kind of what's real, what's not real. Like 1 second he can see a Cenobite, next minute he can't. Next minute he sees dead corpses, next minute he doesn't. So you're like, is he in hell? Is he dead? Is he just having bad flashbacks? Is he imagining things because he's going crazy? So basically, the policeman talks to him about Kirsty, like where is she? Because you know she wasn't found in the car. So they're basically following him about, and he does all his stuff, and he goes to work, and he kind of imagines things happening and all this, and he kind of, I don't want to ruin a lot of it because it's kind of funny because he kind of has these visions of things like this woman turns up on his like at work. A woman grabs hold of him and they start kissing and making out, and it's his boss. And basically, she goes off and goes, "I'll be back, lover boy." And she goes to his home, and they're making out, and he stops. And he looks at the camera. The camera's recording them having sex, even though he's standing there. And he's like, and then you see a bag go over her head and getting killed by the Cenobites. There's another bit where he's talking to, where he's making out with this other woman on the table, and when he talks to her later on, she doesn't even know what's going on with him. She didn't do anything with him at all. And there's a bit where Cenobite goes on and puts like this metal bracing in his thing, but goes straight through his face, and then he wakes up. And he wakes up with blood on his hands at one point. And there's a cool bit where he looks into the mirror when he's getting acupuncture, and he sees the darkness. And there's another bit where he talks to Pinhead, and Pinhead's in the water talking back to him. So you know, there's a lot of good effects in this. Trevor, you don't know what Trevor's done, but you kind of guess pretty early on, with all these women, that he had infidelity problems, that he was a cheater, a cheating scumbag. Because of all these women that are falling over him and all this in his thing. It turns out that he was planning on killing Kirsty for her family as well, because apparently Frank and Larry both had masses and masses of money from estate. Now, I can imagine have Larry, but Frank seemed like the type of guy who would just go about doing whatever he wanted. Like, I don't know, he never seemed like the type to stay down and have money. So, maybe he had money because he went around the world a lot, maybe. Who knows? But he doesn't remember, but he doesn't remember it, but him and his son were going to kill her, right? So, his friend ends up shooting himself in the head because he says he'd rather go to hell with Trevor than be arrested, which kind of says a lot, really. What else? Oh, and basically, Pinhead, near the end, he sees all this crazy stuff, like someone's head come out of another person's head. So you know that everything's not real. You know that he's in his own reality. And one of the best things Pinhead says in the movie is, face the scariest thing, Trevor. Reality. And that's true. Reality is scary, you know. Because reality is always going to be there. Reality is always going to hit you in the face. You can't not see reality because it's there in front of you all the time. You know. So, basically, Trevor ends up getting the things in him by, you know, to pull his face and everything from Pinhead. And, yeah. And, he basically tells him about how Kirsty promised him 5 souls and his was the 5th. And then all of a sudden they'll go, and he sees his body on the slab, and it's like from where he was shot in the head and drowned, basically, you know, in water because he was water damage. And then it shows you him dead from where she shot him in the head, and they went over, and now she got out, and now basically the coroner's talking to him. The female coroner's talking to him, going, "Hello, Trevor. Sorry I left you." So at the beginning of the film, the person who was talking to him, the woman who I thought was the doctor, was actually the coroner who was talking to him when he was dead anyway. So that was a pretty cool effect. Doug Bradley's awesome as Pinhead, but you don't see him that often. And to be honest with you, this is the type of film that feels like it wasn't the original Hellraiser movie, and that they put him in to make it thingy. Did it work? Yeah, I thought it did. I thought it worked pretty well. I like that they brought Kirsty back, Ashley Lawrence, but the story should have revolved around her more than Trevor, because you don't see her a lot. You see her in, like, video things. Like, one of the problems she had with him, not only was it he cheated on her, but he got the puzzle box, lament box thing. I always call it the puzzle box. And wants her to open it. Now, the question is, how would you find it? And how would he afford it if he had no money? Because it says at one point he had no money ever. So how would he find it? Then Doug Bradley plays a merchant who goes, all problems solved or something on a thing. And he makes the deal with him. And basically, Kirsty makes a better deal with him with the 5 souls, so she ends up winning. And then at the end, you see her walking off with the box, and you don't know what's going to happen. Now, I don't think she's in Deader. I don't think. Let's say quickly, is she in Deader? Are you in Deader? Are you in Deader? No, it doesn't look like she was. So, where are we? So, I don't know what's going to happen with the box now, but I can say I really did enjoy this one. It reminded me so much of Inferno, except he wasn't a policeman, he was just a cheater. And he was looking for her through the whole thing, like, what happened to her? Why is she dead? And he kept thinking he'd killed people and stuff. And it was like being in a mind trip kind of thing, you know? Because one minute you'd see him doing something and then he'd wake up from it. And then that would happen constantly, over and over again. Like, he'd be waking up for these different things. So even in your mind, you didn't know if what was happening was happening. You see Cenobites a couple of times, but you only really see Pinhead most of the time. There was new Cenobites. And to be honest, I like seeing the Cenobites. I'm actually considering getting the comics and getting the book, just so I can read up on them, to be honest. But the whole Ashley Lawrence being in it, to me, felt like she was in it just because it was a payday. Not for her, but, well, it was payday for her. But what I mean by that was they could have made the film a lot better around her. Like maybe made it with her with kids and had the kids around it and stuff, you know? And made it darker. But it didn't have the shine in the 80s. But a lot of people were saying in the forums before I saw this, but this was the first true sequel to Hellraiser 1 and 2. But the thing is, it just doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? Because she's not in it really. She's in the footage, and that she looks like she was in it for like a few days shooting. That's all it looks like. I mean, she's awesome in it, but you just kind of want the thing. It's like she made a deal with Hellraiser. She made a deal with Pinhead, and you're like, when is she going to get? Because she's gone from being this innocent girl who had to fight for survival to this woman who was basically scorned and wanted to give up her partner, basically, and these other people to do with him. And you're like, it's quite monstrous, really, and quite evil. So you're like, is she going to get it? Is she going to be in another film where she gets what she deserves? And you kind of don't sympathise with her as much because you're seeing a real darker side to her. And then there's this thing about Pinhead. He's obsessed with her in the fact that he doesn't ever take her. He always makes deals with her. It's like he's got a soft spot for her. Now that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. That's what it feels like. So she's not in any of the other movies from what I've seen on her IMDb page. So I'm guessing we're not going to find out. So you know, but I'm wondering what they're going to do with the box. So far, I've enjoyed the 6 movies, except for Bloodlines. Bloodlines was horrible. That's the only one I haven't liked so far. Do I think Hellseeker is up to scratch with the others? No, not really. I think it's a 3 because I like Hellraiser, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, Inferno, this one, Hellseeker, and then Bloodlines. I'm sure Bloodlines is going to be my least favourite. Maybe that with Revelations. Who knows? Hell, I might even like Revelations more, and that's going to be shit. So, yeah. So, overall, Hellraiser Hellseeker is a fun movie. It's too much the same as Inferno, but completely different at the same time. And as much as I like Hellseeker, I find it interesting. I did like Inferno a lot more. Obviously, nothing's going to beat the first 2, but I've said that a couple of times now. Bloodlines, I'm not even going to exist anymore because shit. But yeah, so the next film I'm going to be watching is Hellraiser Dead, which is the 7th movie, and then I'll have to give you guys the review of that afterwards. So for me, the Cenobites and Pinhead, and the scariest thing is reality. Thanks for watching. Take care. And I think, actually, I won't say, hold on, I just want to say one more thing. I honestly believe that if they want to finish the Hellraiser stories off, they're going to have to finish it with the Kirsty character. Because there's so much around her, like, she drops in, she's dropping out. I reckon somehow it should have it where Kirsty and Pinhead, the film ends with them destroying each other or something. Because it just doesn't seem like any other way really to end it. So, I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon with my review of Hellraiser Dead. And I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Take care and have a lovely day.